Hi everybody, Coulter Brown here with Northern Ag TV, sponsored by BNSF Railway. The cattle industry has been busy here in 2025, not just celebrating record prices, but also doing a lot of policy work. I'm joined here by Turk Stovall, first Vice President of the Montana Stockgrowers. And Turk, you've been active with the Common Ground Summit, the Producer Profitability Initiative, and by God, there's some wins that we can show here with the recently passed budget reconciliation, things that Montana Stockgrowers and other organizations set as priorities have finally started to come to fruition.
Well, no doubt, just like you said, Coulter. I mean, what an historic time, the cattle industry's seeing and feeling right now with the markets. And experiencing the video sale here in Billings. Just, you see producers walking out of that sale barn and going, wow. But at the same time, we're sure enjoying some wins on the political spectrum as well, too. We had some great legislation come through here in recent time that's really has brought our industry some major wins. But it also goes back to, that just didn't happen by accident. And that really is many different efforts by Montana Stockgrowers and other industry groups out there in the industry, bringing grassroots ideas to the forefront of what's the most important for them. As is here several years ago when we started the producer profitability at Montana Stockgrowers, that was really the foundation of we need to focus on bringing Montana's voices. As farmers and ranchers, we need to bring their voices to the forefront of what really matters. And that has got into a spearhead. The Common Ground Summit was an acceleration of producer profitability that started right here in Montana to bring these topics to the forefront to our congressmen and to our senators, saying, what kind of policies do we need to do to keep this land in production? Because the one thing we know, there are more producers leaving the business than coming in, and what are we going to do about it? And we've definitely had some political wins here lately.
And as you mentioned, the conversation continues to evolve from producer profitability, Common Ground, and then the Cattle Producers Forum we had. How has that conversation changed? Are people feeling optimism, being able to look on the wins and think, what else can we do?
What's been a really game changer is we're starting to create a culture that this industry can really be unified. And we really can look across the aisle, if you will. And it doesn't matter what organization you're with, or maybe you're not even with an organization. We really can all come together on certain topics that really make a difference at home. And it's not about one organization winning or losing. It's about the industry winning. And so that's what you heard a lot in today's forum about really we're having some wins. And it's really not about, hey, this organization brought this forward and they were the winner. It's the industry winning right now. And how can we continue on to even look at other topics out there that maybe we didn't see eye to eye on? Can we address those and also help bring some clarity to our congressmen and senators and saying this is really what we want for our industry?
Stay with us. We'll be back for more after a quick word from our sponsor.
From the beginning, we've worked closely with farmers. BNSF's ties to the agricultural community go back 175 years. Together, we've innovated to make the U.S. agriculture supply chain one of the most efficient and productive in the world. Our strong relationship powers BNSF still today and helps us move the nation like no one else can. At BNSF, we move the nation for you.
There's been an evolving conversation among cattle producers with the Common Ground Summit that's really taken some grassroots ideas and put them together, allowing the industry to come together. I'm joined here by Turk Stovall. And Turk, one of the big supporters in this has been the Livestock Marketing Association. They've been a big help, but it's involving a lot of different organizations. And at the end of the day, this is about the producer.
That's right, and the Livestock Marketing Association made some efforts bringing organizations together and saying, hey, we need to work together on some issues. And since then, there's been many different working groups of, hearing from producers across the country, and those all came to the forefront here this past spring. And it was a different approach. It was really not can we come together as organizations, but can we come together as producers across all sectors? From cow-calf, seed stock, stockers, feeders, packers, sale barns, and can we come together as industry leaders in saying, you know what, are there topics out there that we can really agree on? And that was really the platform that LMA helped bring up, is this is really about producers. And this is about producers having more in common than not. and how can we move forward in common ground to really take these topics to Washington or to our state capitals.
Well, I think you're right. There's a lot of topics that we can agree on. The solutions to those topics might be a little more challenging. I think of an issue like labor that affects everyone differently in many ways, but that's just one of the issues that are going to continue to come up, and we're going to continue to work on through conversations like these.
All of us as producers, we're going to talk about how great this market is right now, and then probably the next thing is we're going to say, man, I just can't get any help at home. And so what are we going to do about it? We need to address this domestic supply of labor out there. I mean, does anybody really want to come and chop the ice when it's 30 below? And unfortunately, we're struggling with that. And so what that's made us do is look for other solutions. And so we're taking a deeper dive into these work visa programs, the non-immigrant programs, H-2A, H-2B, the TN visas. Where do they fit in all this? Also, should those be seasonal programs or not? We're suggesting you probably need to relook at it. Should those be seasonal or not? We should also, what is an ag employer? We think it's more about the entire beef supply chain. We think feed yards are part of the beef supply chain. We think stockyards are part of the beef supply chain. And they need to be able to have access to this labor too, because it's important. And we all are faced with the labor shortage. From being a first vice president of Montana Stockgrowers, we're going to be hosting a labor summit here in Montana. It's just going to be focused on hearing from producers, but also trying to bring some solutions there. Producers need help, and we're trying to bring these solutions to our community, our membership, our state, our region, and we need to bring our ag community as many solutions as fast as possible right now, and that's why this labor summit is going to be really important.
Well, there's a lot of work to do, but we're making progress, and Turk, appreciate your leadership on the issue. From the Northern Ag Network, I'm Coulter Brown.